Wow, I totally forgot this movie was coming out until today. Not that it comes out today, it comes out on Friday or Thursday night, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, let's talk about a fourth Bad Boys movie. So Bad Boys Ride or Die is the fourth Bad Boys movie, which I find strange. You'd think Bad Boys for Life would be the fourth movie because, you know, for life. If they wanted to do that pun thing. Probably didn't know there was going to be a fourth Bad Boys movie. Anyhow, so how to describe this one? I'm going to give you the short, brief synopsis of the core plot without any of the side missions you pick up along the way. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence return to Bad Boys as Mike and Marcus. Their late captain, Captain Howard's being framed for being in league with the cartel. So as they set out to clear his name, they themselves become fugitives. Let the Bad Boys movie begin. All right, first of all, I'm going to talk about the action, because I feel like that's the star here. I thought the action when it was going down was fun. Some of the humor while action sequences were going down plays itself out to the point of being awkward. One in particular is the slow-mo segment in which Martin Lawrence is trying to eat candy that's falling, all in slow-mo. Goes on for way too long, which isn't a reflection on Martin Lawrence. I mean, it's not like he was like, hey, let's get a slow-mo camera. This will be great. Because Martin Lawrence is actually a standout. Get to him in a second. But the shootouts were great. And you can tell they're going to happen when they go into a building or on a set, a setting. I had that feeling of, wow, looks like it'd be really fun to play laser tag or paintball here. It would, because it's a great setting for a shootout, and it's about to go down. Good set, fun energy. You know Michael Bay in the Bad Boys movie? I mean, Michael Bay in general. Well, Michael Bay in the Bad Boys movies, I think of that scene in Bad Boys 2 where the camera's just going around them in a shootout. This movie's not directed by Michael Bay. It's the directors of Bad Boys for Life coming back. But you can tell they were like, we recognize where these movies come from. We honor that, but we put our own spin on it. Hey, for some fun stuff. I appreciate that. Oh, and the hits. Because when bullets have contact with squishy bodies, you want those hits to be satisfying. They were pretty satisfying. Yeah, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. When this movie started out, it starts out with the scene you saw in the trailer. Martin Lawrence goes into the store to get some ginger ale. Of course, it gets robbed. I was like, it feels like these guys are just having fun on set. In a good way. It feels like they're reuniting. It feels like they never left. Martin Lawrence, I don't mind saying, makes the movie. The dude's comedic timing, likability, he doesn't miss a beat. He never has. They do an interesting thing in this movie where they kind of flip their dynamic, because Martin Lawrence was always the neurotic one. You know, you remember Woosah. Right, he was the worrisome one. Will Smith was the cool one. Now Martin Lawrence is the chill one. Will Smith is the worrisome one. And while it's perfectly natural to have your characters age, for Martin Lawrence's character, for Marcus, it works a lot better than it does for Will Smith's character, Mike Lowry. The dynamic between these two guys in Bad Boys, I'll say Bad Boys 1 and 2, it was just perfect. Marcus, the family man, Mike, the cool guy. They had this yin and yang dynamic to this buddy duo. A perfect dynamic for these young hotshot cops in a 90s action movie and 2000s sequel. So aging Martin Lawrence's character, Marcus, is not as noticeable because he was the family man then, he's the family man now. More difficult for characters like Mike Lowry, those characters who are the coolest guy in the room. Because now he's married in this movie, he has a son, which means he gets panic attacks when shootouts happen because he has something bigger to live for now. And that's not the cathartic feeling we paid to watch before. There are characters that probably should be in a time capsule. It's like, all right, that's for that phase of life. In your 20s and 30s. Any older than that, and it feels strange because you're either going to still feel like you're in your 20s and 30s, which is essentially a midlife crisis, or you're going to naturally age out of feeling like Mike Lowry, in which, why are we here? I ran into a bit of that in this movie. I might be looking too deep into it. Might be a simple fact that Will Smith just is bored on set because he doesn't really want to do this movie. I don't know. This movie has a lot of side plots, side quests. Sometimes it didn't even feel like it needed to be there. Other times it was like you probably could have shortened that. At one point I was like, this is a GTA mission. Like, I mean, that's a positive. Anytime I see something on screen where I'm like, this is GTA right here, I feel like we're one step closer to seeing GTA on screen, which GTA is essentially a stitching of a bunch of crime and action movies that came before it, which essentially this is too. And I really mean that. Bad Boys Ride or Die feels like it took inspiration from a lot of different things. A little bit of Enemy of the State, not just saying that because Will Smith is in it, but he does make it easier to see the connection. Some of The Fugitive, maybe U.S. Marshals. And this isn't what the movie feels like overall. There's just little segments of like, it feels like that now. Now it doesn't anymore. It feels like this now. Now that doesn't anymore. Did I say that about the last movie? I feel like I've said that about a movie. It was about 4 years ago. Might very well have been the previous Bad Boys movie. And there are conveniences in this one. One in particular, I was like, how did the dude not notice? Anyhow, quite a few times, if you engage that brain for your higher thinking functions, like Guess you're not supposed to. But there is a fine line between, hey, it's trying to recapture that 90s action movie. You're not supposed to. And needing a lobotomy to not see it because it's cartoonish at that point. And I know it's not supposed to be cartoonish because it gets heavy in some scenes. So it just comes across as mixed signals. And the movie's predictable. Man, is it predictable. There are going to be reveals in this movie. You're like, was I not supposed to know that? Yeah, I guess not. Turn off your phones and your brains when the movie starts. I gotta say, give him props for one scene in particular, one shootout. It was kind of amazing. You know, one of those scenes, if you can say, this scene made the movie, it's that scene. The audience was cheering. I was even clapping. It was cool for the character. It was well executed. Can't judge the whole movie based on that one scene. Damn it, I kind of want to. Look, in the end, this is a flawed, convoluted movie with some really fun action. I think this is the perfect movie to wait until it comes out on streaming to watch, probably later this month. Get some friends over and have yourself a better time. If you're drunk. Yeah, what you gonna do? All right, so Bad Boys Ride or Die. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or how do you rank the Bad Boys movies? As if you like them at all. I've met people who are like, I just don't like the Bad Boys movies. Up to you, but whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.